Okay, what's going on here? Morning, everyone. How you doing? I'm just wondering why it looks so shadowy. Hold on, let me take care of a couple of lights, and that'll give the computer time to get online. Okay, let's see if that helps a little bit. Come around to the other side. Is that a little better? Not really. Wow, I don't know what's going on today with the lights, but we will just go with it. It is pretty dark and dreary and foggy here today. How about where you are? Just pulling up my computer. Sorry about the delay. Here we go. Alrighty. So you might be wondering why I have my trimmer out. Well, you know how you're cutting along and everything, and hi Jeanette, and your bar is up like this and the blade's down here and you go to grab it? Don't grab that. Make sure that it's always down. That little tiny bit of a blade is very sharp, hence my finger. Okay, so just FYI, don't really want to touch that. All right, we're talking about bits and pieces today, and I have my kit, scrapbooking kit, Everyday You and Me, and all my leftover bits. I took a picture of all the bits before I started cutting, so I'll put those in my post after the video. Okay, so what I wanted to show you first off is the scrapbook layout that I made. So I made the first two just the way they were, and I love this paper, and so did everybody that did it. But this one here, this third one, I thought would be great with like any one of these paired up with it, but I didn't like the two like that. Or I thought they would be a nice beginner of your album page and end of your album page. Okay, so what I did, and hopefully you'll be able to see all of these. Get that out of the way. So here's I'm just checking to see. Yes, you can just barely see it. So here's the first two pages, pretty much as they are. Okay, I'll get my fingers out of the way. And they're very nice pages. I did choose to lift up a few things here and there. A second set of pages, just as they were in the catalog, although I got these backwards, hold on, are these two pages. Again, I liked them a lot. I like the little techniques that I did. In the future, I would probably sponge around this and maybe even these three pieces just to set them off the page a little bit. That's about it for that. And then the last page, what I did, remembering what it was in the catalog, or in the kit, and what I did was I took that one piece and I cut it and bridged it between. So I used all of the same pieces. I cut, you know, you go through, and I don't know, maybe you don't know, you go through and it tells you to cut all these. So I cut everything as it was meant for these 3 pages. And then I just use those bits and pieces in a different way. Like this one was 12 inches, so I cut it off. One of these was small or bigger, so I cut it off. That type of thing. Clusters, plenty of words to read. This said a happy place. I just put happy place. So it's just the A is just under here because this was actually a sticker. These I popped up instead of leaving them flat. This little flower here, like this one here, you just color with your blender and some ink. So I kind of did that, and I did it around here, and I did a little bit there, just to set stuff off. Little there, up there, and there you go. So that's just a little side note. It's nice that you have a little bit left, but I like that there's not a lot left. And I only had 2 stickers left in that packet. Oops, sorry about the noise. And we'll get one more thing in. Housekeeping, if you will. Thank you so much for shopping with me, keeping my small business alive. I appreciate that. All right, so I found this punch. I'm saying so too much. To the point, and it's a new one in the mini catalog. And I cut out a bunch of pieces out of the cardstock and pattern paper. This was an exclusive pattern paper, so it's white on the back, so you could even use that if you need a little more white on the back, okay? This, I believe, is the two-tone color of paper, so it's darker on one side, lighter on the other. Again, you know, you can mix and match. Okay, so the first card I did was to start on a blank card, and after thinking about it, I think I should have put it on a color. It might have been a little prettier, but you know, it is what it is. And I have a couple more ideas, so I'll probably go back and utilize those as well. All right, so I want to kind of show off the pattern paper, and I know I'm going to put something in the middle. So I want to make sure that that piece is just cardstock. So I just started, and you might want to do this. I wanted to make sure that it covered that corner pretty well. I just put some glue on the back, put it down. Left myself a little edge, put it down. And like so. And I did not put a big one here. Here's some that I've already cut off. I would just find something that'll work that you can use. So as you cut stuff off, then you can reuse these little bits, okay? So the only thing you have to worry about when you are using those little bits and you have a little piece that's this big or smaller is to make sure that you get your design, your layout going straight. So again, this one, how I did it was I left a gap in between the straight, and then this point I put in the middle of that straight, if that makes sense. So again, this point goes in the middle of that gap. And so you've got to keep everything straight with each other, okay? So then this piece here, I could use this one, but I've got to make sure that I keep the pattern going the right way, okay? So that's what I did for the first one. And I have it all cut and done, okay? And I wanted to show you a couple of tips about what I did. I'm going to be putting a circle down, and I did use one of those last 2 stickers. One was words, which wouldn't help me, and one was floral. So this is the light pecan pie blending, which there is pecan in there. So I just laid it on the card or the circle and just run around the edge just to give it, and I'm doing it on the back side because I messed up on the front. But when you do the front, it goes much better. So just a little bit. And remember to turn your blending brush. Even when you're coloring, you always want to be turning it so you don't get a flat side. If you go out to the edge, it's a little bit harder. I just put it right up to the base, and it's a little bit easier to do. So that's what I did around there. I lifted up my little flower, and I used Day to Celebrate. And I believe that's in the, what's that in? I didn't put it down. I believe this is a free one that you get out of the, yes, Celebration stamp set. So I put, hooray, it's a good day to celebrate. And the little sticker I had left, I bumped up the sticker. And there's where I told you I was putting that, sorry, that square down. Hopefully my husband will get that. And I don't want to totally cover it up. I mean, you could, but then why put that in there? So I'm just going to move it over and down a little bit so I show some of that pattern. Keep your card straight, get your words straight, and put that down. So there you go. There's card number 1. Card number 2, I decided I wanted to do a little different. So I just started laying them out here. And I'm putting the point to the end of the card, like so. And I cut off 1/4 of an inch off of these 2, okay? And then this one just ever so slightly went over that gap, okay? So again, when you're putting these on, make sure that you line up your edges straight, because if you get them off a little bit, it can look a little weird. See, it's off a little bit. So this point helps me to keep, I can't do anything with this finger, sorry. This point helps keep you straight. This edge helps keep you straight. So I put these 2 on, and then I put this one in the middle. Did the same up here. And I don't have these on yet, so I wanted to show you. So these are my 2 side edges that I cut. So I'll put some adhesive on there. And I'm doing straight along here and make sure that my point is at the top of the card. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. I'm going to turn this around because my finger is not helping. So again, get your side and then your point. And then the last one. It's a little bit trickier. So I'm watching here and here and here. So it's just ever so slightly. And obviously something's not straight, but that's okay. Let's just see if we can get that one lifted just a little. Maybe. I'm not perfect. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Make sure you know where your fold is. It's always good to know. And, oh, let me get, hopefully this doesn't have any. I'm just checking my blending brush has been used for another color. So I'm gonna bring in this scratch paper, and I'm using pecan pie. I'm just going to get some along the top. And one thing to note is that you might be thinking you're not getting much color, but then when you move it onto somewhere else, you can see that it is getting quite a bit of color. So I guess what I'm saying is tread lightly, put it on lightly, and then check it until you get the color you want. All right, let's get rid of, close that up. Wipe my finger off, because of course I had to stick it into the ink pad. You know, there's always that, right? All right, so we've got our colored. See how much darker that is now? All right, so we've got that on there. Looks like we lifted that up a little bit. Let's get a little bit of liquid glue to hold that little corner down that I popped up. A little too much. Okay. And we've got our pretty to put on here, and we've got this little banner that I wanted to show you how I did that. I put my piece of paper in, and I like to hold it down just ever so slightly so I can see if I've got it straight. And then punch, okay? But I'm also gonna do another one with this pretty pattern paper. And I don't want it to be that short that I did those words on. So I'm going to put it in just this first half. It's always so much easier when you're doing it by yourself. Hold that down, make sure it's where I want. And then I'm going to feed this half in. It's a really small space. And of course, you know, on camera, you never can do it the way you want. Okay, there we go. So I want this to be a little bit longer. So again, I'm just getting it, oh, where it's straight and punching it out. So then I've got a little bit longer piece that I can glue onto here. And I've got that shape that mimics that shape down there. So let's put that on. And first of all, I need a glue dot. For my flower, that seems to be the easiest. And these are the mini, tiny baby ones, which I really like. I just put my roll in a tape dispenser and then it's easy to work with them. And then I just rip off so I know about where the next dot is. Okay, so let's just put that onto there. And then our, oops, you know what? I wanted to raise this up, so I think I will. Get some dots. And I want to avoid the middle because it's already got a bump there. Take that off. Lay that down. Oh, making sure you're straight always helps. And then our other words. So, ooh, I need another one. Looks like, hold on. Let's cut our dimensional in half. And then I need a pick tool to hold on to it. That one's stuff fell off. So this one, because I had adhesive there and I'm not exactly in the middle. Hold on. Scissors. I need to raise this up just a little bit so we can modify this. Stick that under there. Okay, to keep that up. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Now this one, I want to sit on here, but I also need to raise up on the bottom of that. So on the top, I'm going to add my little half a dot just along the top there. Let's get another one. I'm just cutting that in half. And sometimes the backing just falls off, which is good. Use your tool to place it down. Last one. That on. And if it doesn't pop off, you can always use your tool to pierce it. But this one looks like it's coming off. And help you get that little backing off. Okay, so again, I can use this to help me put that down. Go out far enough and see, now I'm over that bump. Dang it. I don't get stuff right all the time, so, oh, good thing I didn't have that backing on, so I'm going to cut it down again and just get it to where I need it, which is on the end. There we go. So now we're straight again. And there's that card for you. Now, I have a lot of other ideas. What if you had a circle and you just started layering them around your circle? In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is play with it, see what you can come up with. Maybe it'll look good, maybe it won't. Never know until you try, right? How would something like that look? A little funky. But anyway, that's the point, is play with your scraps. They're just scraps anyway, and you'll be amazed at how much you can do with those scraps. So give it a try, use up those little bits and pieces, and I will see you next week, as I always do, which is your favorite, number 1 and number 2. And you could throw some bling on, you could throw some Wink of Stella, you could put a ribbon on, whatever you want to do. I hope you liked my video today. Hello, Deborah. Thanks for joining me. And have a great weekend, everybody. See you next Friday.